So why Kotlin? So as I said, Kotlin was started by JetBrains in 2010. And at the time, we kind of needed a language that was concise, expressive, toolable, and interoperable. And we've been developing tools for a variety of platforms and languages. IntelliJ IDEA, for instance, is for Java. We have .NET stuff with ReSharper. And then we've got PHP Storm, Python, all of these different languages and IDEs that we have. And yet, most of the code that we've written, at least on the IDE side, has been in Java. And we were looking for another language that kind of made it easier for us to cut down on the boilerplate that Java kind of is known for. And at the same time, provide us with some more modern constructs, some higher order functions, etc. So we started to look at the alternatives, and at the time there was really mainly two options. One of them was Ceylon and the other one was Scala. Both were discarded for different reasons. Scala, because at the time it had serious performance issues, or at least on large code bases, and the compile time wasn't the fastest. And as we developed tools for Scala, we knew how difficult it was to create tools. And the other option was Ceylon. And we started out with this, but then it kind of diverged our interest in what we were looking for. And that's why we came up with Kotlin. So we tried to follow, as I said, that a language that is concise, expressive, toolable, and interoperable, but above all, pragmatic. That's what we were gaining. We were trying to find a language that could help us solve the everyday problems that we and other developers have. And it's been developed under the Apache 2 OSS license, and it's been available since pretty much day one on GitHub. Now, Kotlin is a statically typed language. It's heavily inspired by Java, Scala, C#, and Groovy. And it targets the JVM primarily, and our first goal was the JVM. But we've also added support for JavaScript, so now you can write Kotlin code to target either the server-side JavaScript with Node.js or the client-side inside the browser. And we're also now currently working on native. So it's something that's under investigation. There's no official announcement or anything yet, other than we're working on it. In this course, obviously, we're going to focus primarily on Kotlin for the JVM. And Kotlin, as I said, we were trying to make a pragmatic language, right? So pragmatic also means that basically we can use it for any kind of development, industrial purpose language, so to speak. So it was for any kind of application, be it website, mobile, whatever. And this could be, even if, like the server side. I mean, most of the work that we've done is kind of on the, or for our purposes, has been for desktop, because we've done a lot of, our IDs are desktop applications. So primarily it was developed for that and for our server-side tools. So we're using it mostly for desktop, server-side, and of course now we've added some web. But it's had a very good adoption in Android. And the main reason for this is because Kotlin is compatible with Java 6. And it provides you with a series of constructs such as higher order functions, as I mentioned, and other things that cut down boilerplate code. And it makes it very attractive for developers, especially those on the Android platform that can't make use of some of the new constructs, such as those available in Java 8. So it's seen a very good adoption in that. And we've embraced this adoption, and we've kind of tried to make it even better by targeting special kind of like frameworks and plugins, etc., targeting Android development. One other thing that, because it's heavily inspired on Java, C#, and some of the other languages that I mentioned, it is similar to those languages, which means that you get a quick ramp-up time, meaning that you don't need to spend a lot of time learning the language. And I hope that with this course we can basically see that this is the case, that easily you can kind of understand the syntax, and in a couple of days you'll be up and running writing Kotlin code. And the other key aspect, and this is very important for us at JetBrains, was that we couldn't throw away a decade worth of code in Java. So whatever we did, we needed to make sure that it's interoperable with our existing code base. And that's why we created Kotlin, in the sense that it would kind of provide a 100% interoperability with Java. The benefit, of course, of this is that as you take your code base, you don't need to ditch everything and say, right, I'm going to rewrite everything in Kotlin. You can actually start to gradually adopt Kotlin and mix and match your Java code, for instance, with Kotlin. So it provides a very good interoperability, which we'll see throughout this course. What is the current state of Kotlin? So the 1.0 release was on February 2016, and it took quite a while because we wanted to dog feed it as much as possible, so to speak. We really wanted to make sure that not only ourselves, but other people using it, we weren't doing very bad or major mistakes or anything like that. So it was in development for quite a period of time. Right now, there's about 20 plus developers at JetBrains that are working on it. And we have over 100 committers on GitHub, including some of the ones from JetBrains, obviously. And it's approximately used in about 10 products at JetBrains. So we really are dog-fooding Kotlin, and we are committed to it. Kotlin was never developed as a product to sell, so to speak. Indirectly, we hope that it will contribute to selling the tools that we provide, such as IntelliJ IDEA, but there was never a kind of like a business model as such around the language. It was for our own use, and that's what we're using it for. And our commitment is to Kotlin is shown by using it in our products. And pretty much any new product that is developed nowadays at JetBrains is exclusively written in Kotlin. Of course, there's many companies also that are using Kotlin in one way or another, some that have publicly mentioned it or have done coverage of it in one sense or another. As, for example, American Express has some stuff on GitHub, Netflix, NBC News Digital, we know that they're using Kotlin. Some of these for Android development, some of them for other internal tools or some server-side development as well. And recently, Gradle adopted Kotlin as a scripting language. So as you might be familiar with Gradle, and it uses Groovy as the primary scripting language. They announced recently that they're going to adopt Kotlin, and now you can write Gradle plugins using Kotlin, and there's going to be a Kotlin version of the scripting. So that's very good as well, because it kind of like provides a uniform experience, especially for Android developers that are now, many of them are using Kotlin, and combining that with Gradle that uses Kotlin would be beneficial.